service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily is a service of CNC and Jib Jab Greetings. I'm Bud Lowell, and your full AccuWeather forecast is always on top on your CNC local pages. Rochester police detonated an apparent explosive device in the Charlotte neighborhood Tuesday night after probation officers spotted it during a home visit. The officers were at a home on Alpha Street where they found guns and the device. The RPD and the bomb squad were called in, and they spent much of the night searching the house. During that search, the bomb squad removed the device and did a controlled detonation of the explosive. Neighbors were evacuated for safety's sake. The blast could be heard around the surrounding streets, but police called the explosion minor. The Penfield Zoning Board of Appeals voted unanimously Tuesday night to approve a conditional use permit allowing a program for veterans recovering from post-traumatic stress disorder to locate on Embury Road. CDS Monarch plans to use the building at 265 Embury as a recovery center for returning veterans suffering from PTSD and from brain injuries. About a dozen recovering veterans would live there. The appeals board tabled their application last week after some residents and the nearby Rochester Christian School raised concerns. The building is about 500 feet from the school. CDS Monarch representatives met with school officials and convinced them to support the project. With their concerns off the table, the board voted to approve the special permit. Veterans groups, including members of the American Legion, also got involved in raising support for the project. Monroe County officials say the Seneca Park Zoo has become the site of the world's first artificial insemination of a polar bear. Monroe County Executive Maggie Brooks says the county is now at the forefront of the polar bear preservation effort, and as one journalist noted in her blog afterwards, Ms. Brooks loves that word forefront. Seneca Park Zoo and county officials announced that the procedure took place on March 1st. The subject was Seneca Park's female polar bear, Aurora, and the sperm donor was the zoo's male bear, Zero. The Seneca Park Zoo partnered with the Cincinnati Zoo's Conservation and Research of Endangered Wildlife program on this procedure. If Aurora did become pregnant, we'll know in the fall. Her due date is in November. Stephen DeVito of Rochester entered a not guilty plea Tuesday to charges of drunken driving, aggravated vehicular homicide, vehicular manslaughter, and assault. The 39-year-old chiropractor is accused of causing the car crash that killed 61-year-old James DePinto and his 57-year-old wife Patricia Treybold DePinto of Greece. The couple were pulling into the intersection of the Lake Ontario State Parkway and Route 259 in Parma when DeVito's SUV smashed into them. Both of the DePintos were killed. DeVito drove away from the scene, later ran off the road and crashed again. Deputies said he was drunk. Xerox Corporation is offering voluntary separation packages to some U.S. employees now through mid-June. The company says those who take the buyout agreements will leave Xerox by June 29th. It's not saying how many workers have received the offer or how many jobs it wants to cut. Last month, Xerox said it would spend about $94 million on restructuring costs over the coming year. The company has about 6,300 Rochester area employees. The United Way of Greater Rochester wants to update its Blueprints for Change, the plan that guides where it puts the donations raised each year in the Community Fund campaign, and it wants help from Rochester area residents to do it. The United Way has a community survey on its webpage asking for insight on how critical local issues may have changed in recent years. They want to use that information along with input from community leaders and other groups about what they see as the area's most critical challenges. To the left of this window are links to more information on these and other stories. Next news as it happens, updates when necessary. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.